Good day everyone, I am Dazzle Gihanito from BSED Social Studies, and for today's video, I will discuss and report to you the topic, which is the Republic Act number 10665, or also known as an Open High School System Act. But before we proceed the discussion, let us have our objective first. First is to provide opportunity to all elementary graduates, high school dropouts, and successful examiners of the Philippine Educational Placement Test to complete secondary education. Second, to prevent potential school leavers and encourages those who are out of school to finish secondary education. Third, reduces high school dropouts and increases participation rate. Fourth, increase achievements rate through quality distance education. So what is a Republic Act number 10665? It is an act establishing the open high school system in the Philippines. Seeks to provide more learner access to secondary education through the open learning modality. The nature of the Open High School Program. What is the Open High School Program, or the OHSP? The Open High School Program is an alternative mode of secondary education that uses distance learning. It caters to learners who are unable to attend the regular class program due to physical impairment, work, financial difficulties, distance at home to school, and other justifiable and legitimate reasons. The Open High School Program was designed originally as an alternative learning system for those who are unable to start or complete secondary education due to problems of time, distance, education, physical impairment, financial difficulties, and living areas. The program provides an opportunities for elementary school graduates, high school dropouts, and successful examiners of the Philippine Education Placement Test to complete secondary education in a purely distance learning mode. The program provides printed self-learning modules for students to use to their lessons and classroom activities. There are 18 sections under this Republic Act number 10665, so we will just focusing those sections that focus on this topic for us to be able to know what are those things that is under in this Republic Act 10665. The Section 3, the definition of terms. The first is Community Advisor or Tagapayong Pansamahan. It is refers to the advisor from within the community who helps the open learners harmonize their studies with community service and leisure. Second, Learning Centered. It is refers to a room in a mother high school or other designated area where the open learners can conduct researchers or gather additional information on the topic under study. It can also serve as a multi-purpose area which may contain a classroom setup, a library, or a venue where the source person can conduct hands-on exercises or activities. The third is the Mother High School or Inang Paaralan. Is refers to a regular secondary school which maintains full administrative management and instructional supervision and control over one or more learning centers. It functions among others as first, headquarters of the open learners and open high school teachers. Second, the Center for Enrollment, Evaluation, Direct or face-to-face instruction and promotion of open learning. The third, preserver of the nation's instructional materials and reports relatives to open learning. And fourth, coordinator of the different learning centers in the community. The fourth definition of this term is the open high school teacher. It is refers to the secondary school teacher of the mother high school who is in charge of direct instruction, evaluation of the learner's progress, and keeping of the records of individual learners. Next is the open learning. It is refers to the philosophy of learning that is learner-centered and flexible, enabling learners to learn at a one time, place, and pace with satisfy their circumstances and requirements. The last one is the source person or the gurong kadluan. Is refers to a resource person with specialized skills in practical or industrial subjects such as farming, handicraft, auto mechanics, tailoring, and other skills. The last one definition of term is the teacher advisor or gurong tagapaggabay. Refers to a regular secondary school teacher of a mother high school who serves as a guidance counselor to the open learners, coordinates with the teachers in evaluating the learner progress, and prepares and submits reports to the authorities concerned. Section 4. The establishments of the high school system or the OHSS. The OHSS is hereby established as part of the Department of Education or DepEd, Alternative Secondary Education, to provide access to secondary education through the open learning modality. Section 5. The coverage of the OHSP. This act shall apply to public secondary educational institutions authorized to practice open learning through self-instructional materials, multi-channel learning, and school family community partnership, as well as the other such institutions that shall be authorized as a qualified implements of the OHSS. The Section 6. The learners of the OHSS. The OHSS shall be open to all youth and adults who have finished elementary education as well as the high school qualifiers of the Philippine Educational Placement Test and the Alternative Learning Systems, Accreditation and Equivalency. Section 7. The Administration and Function. The DepEd shall administer the OHSS. An OHSS unit shall be created to assist in performing the following functions. First is formulate the basic policies of the OHSS. Second, formulate, adopt, supplement programs that ensure effectivity and productivity of the OHSS. Third, monitor and evaluate existing open learning programs for integration with the OHSS. Fourth, develop and validate prototype instructional materials for the open learning. Fifth, to consult and collaborate with other DepEd divisions, local government units, civil society organizations, and other private agencies for the effective operation of the OHSS. Next is promulgate the necessary guidelines, rules, and regulations for the effective implementation of the OHSS. And the last one is to recommend to the DepEd the annual budget of the OHSS for inclusion in the Annual General Appropriations Act and perform such other tasks as may be necessary to attain the objectives of the OHSS. Section 8. Curriculum Content. The OHSS shall adopt the K-12 Enhanced Basic Education Curriculum using the standards and learning competences of the different subject areas of the program. Section 9. Personal Recruitment and Incentives. The open high school teachers and the teacher advisors who shall render service under the OHSS shall be enlisted from those who are currently teaching in the mother high school that is implementing the program. Section 10. The training of teaching staff. The DepEd shall be responsible for training of the open high school teachers, teacher advisors, and community advisors. Training shall be done in coordination with the LGOs and the non-government organizations concerned. Section 11. Establishment of the Learning Centers. Every division of the DepEd shall establish learning centers in authorized mother high schools located in their jurisdiction. LGOs may also take the lead in the establishment of the learning centers, which shall continue to be under the authority of the recognized mother high school and the division of the DepEd. The specific division of the DepEd, which has authority over the mother high school, shall be responsible in hiring the open high school teacher who shall manage the day-to-day affairs of the learning center on the full-time basis. This open high school teacher shall be the coordinator of the learning center and shall facilitate the learning process of the open learners. Section 12. The private sector participation. The private educational institution institution may establish their own privately funded learning centers following the standards and the criteria provided for in this act for the OHSS, subject to the approval of the DepEd. So, we proceed to the conclusion of this topic. So, the conclusion is, education is definitely important in one's life. Education makes people capable of doing new interesting things that can go a long way to improving human living conditions and standards. Our whole life is the process of learning and gaining new useful knowledge. The OHSB combines self-paced modular method with the face-to-face interaction, allowing learners to study them own piece but in the reinforcing instruction and the guidance through class meetings. It offers learners who are out of school and those who risk of dropping out more flexibility in terms of time and learning pace. This program is a really big help and very convenient for those people who want to continue their study. So that's all for my discussion today. I hope you learn new knowledge in this topic. Bye!